Welcome back. We continue in the Lancaster-Lebanon/Berks County League. Berks County had 2 district champs last year, and one of them should challenge again while leading the way in Section 2. Section 2 will look dramatically different this year. Berks County newcomers Governor Mifflin and Exeter met in the district finals, with Exeter bringing home its first ever title.
Last year was great, and we know we're not going to sneak up on any people. There's going to be a lot of people that have that game circled. We're going to get everyone's best game.
It was exhilarating. That's the best word I could find. But I think that, like you said, it was our first ever, which was just so huge for any program. I mean, we came a long, long way.
Schlaffer is a 6'6" All-State tight end who's already committed to Penn State. He might also play quarterback this fall as the Eagles try to replace 4 other All-State players. Warwick shared the section crown last year, its 3rd in 4 seasons, and advanced to the second round of districts. But Bob Locker's Warriors will be road warriors this season. Construction around the stadium will limit them to just 1 home game.
What we do know is that we'll be on the road, 8 games, the way it looks right now, and that's life.
Thankfully, the Warriors have plenty of returning talent, starting with All-State quarterback Jack Reed, who had 20 TDs with only 5 picks.
Seeing defenses, understanding what we're looking for, that has grown. He's a good student of the game, and his arm strength, he had a cannon to begin with. He's made some throws over the summer that even I go like, okay, that's pretty good. Pretty good.
3, 1, 2, 3.
Manheim Central bounced back from its first losing season in decades to tie for the Section 2 crown. But the roster's been shrinking in recent years, down to 46 players this summer.
I think that the biggest concern is probably numbers. Right now I think a lot of teams are finding it harder and harder to keep kids out.
The Barons have won 27 section titles in a town that's grown accustomed to championships.
I would say there's a low pressure every year. I mean, we have the whole town come out and watch us, and you don't want to disappoint them. So I would say there's a little pressure every year, especially because we just have such high expectations.
Doherty is one of 3 returning linebackers who will anchor a strong defense. There will be heavy hearts in Conestoga Valley, where 2 players, Tyrese Smith and Tyler Zook, died in June. First-year coach John Szczepanski says the tragedy has unified the team.
They've really come together. You can really see a sense of unity amongst them. They rally around one another. They support one another.
Szczepanski is the former coach at Northeastern High School. Now, Governor Mifflin was hit by graduation, including one of the top running backs in the nation, Nick Singleton, who's now at Penn State. Lebanon returns more starters than anyone, 18, but is coming off a winless campaign. Muhlenberg's trying to turn things around, has just 2 victories over the last 4 years.
Looking forward to seeing Exeter in that battle with Manheim Central, too.
Those Berks County schools have a lot of talent and a lot of success. It'll be interesting to see how they fold in.
Oh, yeah, must watch for sure this year. All right, we'll go back out to Cumberland Valley now, where Pat Principe has a look at the Mid-Penn Capital region. Hi, Pat.
Hey, Barbara, yeah, the Mid-Penn Capital is down to 6 teams now due to yesterday's stunning news that Middletown was canceling their football season due to a hazing incident. Still, this division looks like it's going to have a very competitive top-to-bottom cast of characters. Boiling Springs rose to the top of the Mid-Penn Capital just 2 years after an 0-10 season. The Bubblers have a good nucleus of starters back from the squad that made their first trip to a district championship game.
We graduated most of our backfield, but almost our entire offensive line and defensive line are back. So in the wing T, that means a lot. So hopefully that's a good sign for us.
With success comes overconfidence. People start getting cocky. So as a senior, you just got to strive to make sure the team stays humble. Don't get too carried away with ourselves.
Steel High fell short of a Capital Division repeat a year ago, but did claim a second straight 1A district title. The Rollers welcome back 9 starters on both sides of the ball, led by one of Pennsylvania's best high school quarterbacks in Alex Irby and his twin brother, lineman Andrew Jr. The dynamic duo has their sights set on repeating their 2020 state title run.
Really, this takes me back to Hershey 2020, but it's really got to flip the setting a little bit. But at the same time, we got to focus on one game at a time and just focusing on just leading up to the point.
Big Spring made history last season by winning its first ever district playoff game. The Bulldogs will bark again in 2022, led by 3-year starting quarterback Ethan Eisenberg.
I just keep doing what I do, and if I'm a person that they think they have to stop, I mean, I'm honored, but I just got to keep putting my head down and just keep doing what I do.
Trinity begins year 2 with Jordan Hill at the helm. The former Steel High and Penn State star coached 3 wins last year out of a young team that many expect to be a factor this season in the Capital race.
We're still very youthful, but the young guys played a lot last year, so there is playing experience. These guys have been through some things, right? If you look back at most of the games, there were a bunch of games we lost by 7. We got to learn how to win those now.
We like Steel High's talent-loaded roster to retake the Capital Division title, and Trinity has the stuff to produce their first winning season in a decade. Big Spring and defending champ Boiling Springs will be in close pursuit.
Boy, Steel High, what a team there, what a town.
Boy, and Irby is the coach's son. He's been throwing the ball since he probably came out of the crib.
Exactly.
So he just gets better every year.
He sure does. Well, more preseason action from the York Adams League coming up next. I'll talk with teams in Division II to see how they're preparing for the season.
And I've got more from Section 1 of the Lancaster Lebanon League. And Pat Principe talks Colonial Region action in the Mid-Penn.